At first glance, the idea of preparing for a tsunami might seem distant, something you read about in the news or see in dramatic documentaries. Massive walls of water crashing into coastal cities, sweeping away everything in their path. It feels cinematic, terrifying, and rare. But beneath the surface of these stories lies a critical truth. Tsunami survival is not just about luck, it's about knowledge, timing, and readiness. And the more we understand the science behind these devastating waves, the more effectively we can prepare for and survive them. Imagine this. You're on a serene beach, the sun shining, children playing, waves gently rolling in. Suddenly, the ocean begins to withdraw fast. The waterline recedes far beyond where it normally ends, revealing rocks and fish that are never visible. People point, take pictures, uncertain what to think. What you're witnessing is one of nature's most chilling warnings. A tsunami may be on its way, and you may have only minutes to act. That's the reality of tsunamis. They don't roar in like Hollywood waves. They often start with silence, a deceptive calm. And when the wave arrives, it's not just one, it's a series of waves, each capable of surging inland with unimaginable force, traveling at speeds up to 800 km/h in open water. That's faster than a commercial jet. But how exactly can someone survive a tsunami? One major factor is early recognition of warning signs. In coastal areas, especially near subduction zones, tsunamis are most often triggered by underwater earthquakes. If you feel a long, strong earthquake, one that knocks you off balance or lasts more than 20 seconds, that's your first cue. Don't wait for a siren, run inland or seek high ground immediately. Studies of past events show that those who acted quickly without waiting for confirmation had the highest survival rates. Another crucial factor is spatial awareness and escape planning. Before disaster strikes, you should know, where's the highest point nearby? What roads are likely to be blocked? Is there a designated evacuation zone? In Japan and parts of Southeast Asia, tsunami escape towers, vertical evacuation buildings, and high ground trails have been built for this reason. Practicing these routes can make a life or death difference in a real emergency. Want to increase your odds even further? Train your decision-making and reaction time. In chaotic situations, panic can be paralyzing, but survival is often about acting fast and instinctively. Survivors often describe being on autopilot, their brains executing pre-learned actions almost without thought. This is why some emergency teams and communities now use virtual reality tsunami simulators, training people to respond in high-stress, realistic environments. Like immersive brain training, these simulations help condition the brain to recognize cues, respond under pressure, and remain calm while navigating debris, floods, and crowds. But tsunamis aren't just about the first wave. The danger may last hours. Some of the deadliest surges arrive 30 minutes or even an hour after the initial quake. That's why it's essential not to return to the shore too soon. Always wait for an official all clear from emergency services. Long-term survival also involves basic preparedness. Do you have a go bag near your door? Essentials might include water, a flashlight, batteries, a first aid kit, sturdy shoes, copies of IDs, and basic food. In tsunami-prone areas, these kits are common, and in the crucial first 24 hours, they can make a huge difference, especially if infrastructure is wiped out. But what about those caught in the water? Survival becomes vastly more difficult but not impossible. Floating objects, rooftops, trees, even large plastic containers have saved lives. The key is to keep breathing, avoid panic, and stay afloat. Many survivors describe being tossed for what felt like hours, emerging battered but alive once the waters receded. And for those living far from the coast, this still matters. Tsunamis are part of a broader category of low-frequency, high-impact events. Understanding how to respond, how to interpret nature's warnings, plan escape routes, and act quickly under stress is a universal survival skill. So what's the bigger picture? Tsunami survival isn't about beating nature, it's about working with it, understanding its rhythms, and respecting its signals. With the right awareness, training, and infrastructure, what seems like an unstoppable force becomes a challenge we can meet. It's not just about surviving the wave, It's about being ready before it arrives. And perhaps that's the most empowering part, that in the face of one of Earth's most terrifying forces, knowledge is your lifeboat. The more you know, the faster you act, the better your chances. Because when the water rises, it's not heroism that saves lives, it's preparation. Tsunami survival refers to the strategies, behaviors, and systems that increase the likelihood of withstanding the sudden and overwhelming impact of massive sea waves generated by undersea earthquakes, landslides, or volcanic eruptions. The paradox lies in how survival often depends not on strength or resources, but on split-second decision-making, risk awareness, and prior knowledge, small factors that have an outsized effect in an extreme situation. Tsunami events challenge our ability to respond effectively to rare but devastating natural phenomena. In the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, many residents of Semulue Island survived because of intergenerational oral traditions that taught them to flee to high ground after feeling a strong earthquake. Not because you're stronger, but because you paid attention and remembered the signs. Risk awareness in tsunami-prone areas is not merely about fear. It is about the cognitive encoding of cues and developing an instinctual adaptive response. Effective survival requires recognizing precursors like a rapid sea retreat, long ground shaking, or animal behavior and acting without hesitation. Unlike slow-onset disasters, tsunamis leave little time for deliberation, making pre-learned responses and drills critical to success. In Japan, school children are taught to immediately evacuate uphill after an earthquake. During the 2011 Tohoku tsunami, this training led to rapid self-evacuation in some coastal schools, saving many lives. It's like teaching your reflexes to jump when a loud bang happens, where there is no time to think, only to act from what has been deeply encoded. The key mechanisms that enable tsunami survival include earthquake detection, real-time ocean monitoring, automated alerts, vertical evacuation structures, and community drills, which create an integrated defense system. However, even in high-tech settings, the human decision-making component, how quickly and appropriately people respond, often determines outcomes, with the time window ranging from minutes to seconds, where system delays can be fatal. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center issues alerts based on seismic and ocean buoy data, which are disseminated through sirens, SMS, radio, and internet platforms. It's like having a smoke detector that not only sounds an alarm but sends you a map of the exits. If you trust it and move quickly, you survive. Tsunami survival represents a case study in complex adaptive systems where individual and group behaviors interact with dynamic environmental signals under extreme stress. Collective evacuation, decision synchronization, and panic dynamics must be understood as emergent phenomena, with the effectiveness of survival strategies increasing when communities function as coherent units with embedded resilience protocols. In Aceh, Indonesia, during the 2004 tsunami, survivors who acted collectively, following leaders to higher ground, had higher survival rates than those who acted independently. It's like a school of fish turning all at once to escape a predator. If each fish panics separately, they get eaten, but together they form a wave of survival. A tsunami is not a single wave, but a massive, fast-moving energy transfer through the ocean, often traveling at jetliner speeds ~800k/h in deep water. Upon reaching shallow coastlines, the energy is compressed, causing waves to rise dramatically. Unlike wind-driven waves, tsunamis have long wavelengths and can penetrate far inland. Understanding this physics is crucial for infrastructure design, safe zone planning, and public education. The 2011 Japan tsunami reached over 10 km inland in some areas, destroying buildings designed only for wind or earthquake loads. It's like a bulldozer hidden in a ripple, silent and deceptive until it crashes down with crushing force. Survival hinges on how people process information under acute stress. During a tsunami, sensory inputs can be conflicting, e.g., a calm sea before the wave, and prior beliefs may override warning systems. Research shows that cognitive freeze, disbelief, and social anchoring, waiting to see others' actions, often delay evacuation. Education and immersive simulations such as VR tsunami drills help train intuitive, rapid responses by embedding information into action-oriented memory. Studies show that people who received tsunami education and visual exposure, for example, seeing previous tsunami footage, responded faster and more effectively during real emergencies. It's like rehearsing a play so well that even in a real fire on stage, you remember your lines and exit automatically through embodied action. Understanding tsunami survival leads to new approaches in resilient urban planning, vertical evacuation architecture, and policy integration. Coastal cities are now being redesigned with buffer zones, artificial hills, early warnings, sirens, and even community evacuation towers. The integration of scientific models with community preparedness transforms reactive strategies into proactive ones, reducing vulnerability. In Japan, new tsunami-resistant schools and public buildings are being designed with rooftop evacuation zones and reinforced concrete platforms that double as community shelters. It's like building a castle with ladders on the roof, not to keep people in, but to give them a path to the sky when the sea turns deadly. Despite advances in detection, tsunami prediction faces challenges in accurate magnitude estimation, real-time ocean modeling, and the time lag between data collection and dissemination. Additionally, social inequities such as limited mobility, poverty, or access to information affect survival rates, and global preparedness varies widely, with some regions still lacking basic early warning infrastructure. In Tonga, 2022, the volcanic eruption generated tsunami, overwhelmed basic warning systems, and remote island communities were left with little preparation or evacuation time. It's like sounding an alarm in a house without doors. Hearing the warning is not enough if there's nowhere safe to go. The future of tsunami survival will involve AI-powered early warning systems, decentralized community sensors, immersive education tools, and global disaster response networks. Combining satellite data, IoT buoys, and behavioral simulations could drastically reduce fatalities. And beyond survival, this field teaches us how to live with uncertainty by transforming rare catastrophes into predictable, survivable events through science, design, and human cooperation. Research teams are developing AI systems that can simulate earthquake tsunami chains and recommend localized evacuation routes in real time, adjusting to traffic and crowd flow. It's like giving everyone a personal GPS that not only shows the way out, but senses danger before it arrives.